Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Faith Podcast. It's your host, Jasmine Todd, and today we have an incredible episode with Will Claye. Before we get into conversation, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Agogie. Agogie has pioneered the resistance apparel industry, creating pants that personally have taken my training to a whole new level. With 8 resistance bands built in, these pants will increase your training intensity and are guaranteed to improve your overall performance. Get faster, get stronger. It's as simple as putting on the pants. So once again, huge thank you to Agogie for sponsoring this episode, and get ready to tune in, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Hey guys, welcome to the Crazy Faith Podcast. I am your host, Jasmine Todd, and I have an amazing guest here today with me, my brother, Will Chillin', Will Claye. Hey, Will.
What's good, little sis? What's the deal?
Y'all, I'm very excited to have Will here. This man is like a brother. I've known him for a long time. He's got great stories, and we've got a lot to touch on. Will, I'm going to read off your little background. I got my little cheat sheet over here.
What you need a cheat sheet for? You supposed to know all of that. You supposed to know all
Let me read your resume here because it's just, y'all. Okay, this is my fellow Arizona native here. So this is also why I've known Will. He is from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. He reps it so hard and I love it. He is a silver medalist in the triple jump in 2012 in London, as well as a bronze medalist in the long jump, also in London, silver medalist in the 2016 Rio Olympics as well. This man went to Mountain Point High School. I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's not on my cheat sheet, but I'm gonna throw that out there because he went to Mountain Point, and we know it's wolves over here. So
you were supposed to be there at Mountain Point, but it's cool. We let you get away. It's all good though.
We stole you guys though, so you just happened to get away. We stole y'all.
I got away from Chandler. Chandler let me get away, but it's cool.
We did let you get away.
It's all good. It worked out.
Will is also an 8-time All-American honor with 2 NCAA titles. He went to the University of Florida and Oklahoma. He is currently coached by Coach Fisher. He was also coached by my dad, who I love oh so dearly, Coach Todd. Moral of the story, y'all, this is the GOAT. That's all I got. This the GOAT. Will chillin'. Ask me what I'm doing. I'm trying to make $1 million. Okay. So, because now I'm on that, and Will, let me tell you that honestly, whenever that song comes on, I still get so hyped as if it's the first time I heard it on the radio. Because I said, that's my brother. Hold on. Yeah. So I want to ask you, when that all happened, and how did that perspire? How did you and YG connect? And tell us about it, man.
So like after the Olympics in 2012, I came back and I was like kind of on this like celebration tour type deal. And I was in LA, and YG and we have mutual friends, and we ended up at this club together. And my boy was like, "Hey, you want to meet YG?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. Like I've been listening to his music for a minute. Like he's dope." He was like, "Yeah, like I think y'all would, you know what I'm saying, really like be cool." And so he introduced us, and it was a mutual respect. It was like we're both young. You know, he was doing his thing in the rap game, and I was, you know, just coming off of my Olympic medals. And it was just a mutual respect for 2 young Black men that were striving, you know, to be great in our respective fields. And you know, the relationship just grew from there to the point that where we stayed in touch. And I had a boy, Mitch. You know Mitch. Mitch, he's also from Arizona, but at the time I was in school at University of Florida, and Mitch was at Full Sail College, which is like a music or arts college of the arts. Okay. And that's in Orlando. And I'm still on my tour. You know what I'm saying? I end up going to Arizona, you know, and this time we're at Revolver. I know you remember Revolver. So I'm in Revolver with Mitch, and I'm like, bro, I just met YG, and I really feel like there's something there. Like, we could really make something happen. Like, I don't know if it's for me, but I feel like you are already in music, and you're amazing. Like, he played the drums at his church. He was producing, like, he was doing all of this stuff in music, and I'm like, man, like, let's try to just do a record with him, like, just make some beats. He was like, man, but I don't really make no West Coast beats like that. I'm like, you better go figure it out. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, bro is really, you know, he wants to work. And so YG ended up inviting me and Mitch to the studio. At the time, me and Mitch were in Florida, and he was like, hey, can y'all make it to the studio this weekend? It was probably like a Wednesday. And we were like, yeah. So we were like, we didn't know how we were going to do it, but we just figured out how to get on some flights and get to LA.
Figure it out.
Snap of a finger. So we figured it out. We got there to the studio. Like, mind you, we walk into the studio, Ty Dolla $ign is in there, DJ Mustard is in there, like all the like 400, like just a lot of like staple artists in LA, you know what I'm saying? All in the studio. So me, I'm already kind of like, dang, like I've never been in a real studio. Like, this is like, oh yeah, I'm nervous, you know? And he like, yeah, so play some beats, Mitch. So Mitch played some beats. And the first few were just like, whatever. And one of YG boys took me outside. He was like, hey, bro, like, maybe we could just hop on a DJ Mustard beat. And I'm like, that'd be cool, but like, nah, like Mitch got it. And so we go back in the studio, and Mitch play another beat, and then YG just is like, that's the one. He's like, this is crazy. And he immediately just starts like writing to it, you know. And I'll never forget, like, when he had the beat just on repeat, and he's in the next room getting his haircut. Haircut probably take like 30 minutes. He gets out of the chair, jumps right in the booth, does the hook, a verse, and then it's like, hey, Will, you ready? You ready now? Like, to do your verse? And I'm like, nah. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not ready. Like that. Yeah, I'm not ready. And so he's like, all right, well, I got to go make this club appearance, and I'll be back. So he just dipped out. I'm in the studio, like, trying to put a verse together. Like, I'm like, dang, all right. So I put a verse together. I get in there, you know, and I'm just super timid. Like, I'm shy. And so everybody in the studio like, bro, you gotta turn up, like, like, bro, you gotta really, like, you know what I'm saying, like, be you, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. So like, I'm doing these takes and just trying to get it right. And then it finally came together. YG came back. Originally, the song was supposed to be my song on my project, but when he came back, he heard it. He was like, hey, bro, can I put this on my project? And I was like, for sure. Like, I'm gonna do way better, like, if you put it out than if I did. So he put it out, and then it just ended up blowing up and being like one of the biggest records on the West Coast of our generation. You know, it kind of like set me on my path as an artist. You know, like, even though that wasn't specifically my sound, it set me on my path to like find my sound, you know, and what was true to me from there.
You know? Man, that is crazy for one. Yeah. Do you think that like that pressure of when you were in the studio, do you feel like that's kind of the same type of pressure that you would have got on the track, or was it completely different?
Yeah, I feel like it's similar, because like, you get on the track at a meet, I would say. You get on the track, you got all these people in the stands looking at you like, what are you about to do? Like, yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? And so it was similar, because I was in the studio, everybody was in the studio like, what is he about to do? Like, we've never heard him on any song. Like, we don't know anything about him as an artist. So let's see what he can do, you know? And so I had to really just prove myself, you know, that I was supposed to be in there, you know, with those type of, you know, artists. So I would say, yeah, like I get nervous before all my track meets. So me getting nervous in the studio was like, okay, like I just have to channel that energy, into it being something positive for me.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so since we on this music realm, obviously you do music. So what's next for Will in music?
Um, I just I signed myself to my own label, Desert Water Records. I have two other artists that work with me, J Waves and Don P. So we
Uh-oh.
started a label, and that's going really well. I actually just did a partnership with Red Bull Records to release a single. So that's coming soon. And
Okay.
and then from there, just like keep creating. I just really want to just I want to be able to inspire and motivate people through my music. Like that's all I want to do. Like if I can continue doing that through music, then I'm gonna keep doing it. And if I can't do that through my music, then I'm not gonna do it. So
Yeah, I feel that.
that's all I want to do through my music is just make something that moves people in a positive direction. Because there's so much music that we listen to that leads people in a into a bad, like in a bad way, and people don't even really realize it, but it's mostly the kids, they're being influenced in the wrong way. So I just want to be able to kind of like influence kids in the right way,
Yeah, no,
with my music,
I 100%.
but not in a corny way though. I want to be able to like, cause I feel like it's got to be digested in a dope way. It can't just be like, oh yeah, I feel what he's saying, but that's kind of weak. It's kind of lame. Like, I want it to be tight, like, but still like touch them in a way that's like, dang, like, okay, like I respect that dude. Like I see him move, I see the moves he make, and his music stands by that.
Yeah, I mean, your last project literally spoke on your life and you growing up, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. All your projects are dope, but that one right there, because it allowed people to really get to know Will and the other side of it and how you had grew up. So
Yep.
kudos to that. What made you get into music?
I've been making music before I even ever started to do track. Like I was in like the church choir, you know what I'm saying? And at a young age, I was inspired by like my first inspiration to make music was like Lil Bow Wow, Lil Romeo, because they was like my age. And I'm like, dang, these little dudes is popping. Like, and B2K too.
Yeah.
I'm like, these dudes is popping and like they look like me. So like, dude, let me give it a shot. Let me try it. So like I would just record with my boys at home. And even when we was at like when I was at Mount Point, like I would make songs for the football team, but it wasn't anything that I was like looking to like do necessarily like as my profession, because I knew I was an athlete, but I was like, shoot, let me just create a vibe for like the people that I be with. So when we riding around in the car, when we like in the locker room, like we gonna play my music, and like it's gonna be turned up because everybody know me. I'm referencing people that I be around, so like they hear it and they turned up. So like that was really how it started for me when it came to music. And I think I kind of put it down for a while, and then like the YG record was kind of like the resurgence. Like, dang, okay, like I could really do this, and I could really put it out into the world. And the whole the industry changed. Like at that point, you could upload your album to iTunes. Like it was easy. To whereas before you had to like make CDs and like stores, so it wasn't really as easy. But like once the game switched up, I was like, oh yeah, like I could put out music, and it just started taking off. So I just kept doing it.
Hey man, that is dope. Like honestly, that whole world, the whole SoundCloud, it really changed a lot because a lot of people
It
started
changed
getting
the game.
well recognized.
Yup, it changed the game.
Man, that is crazy. Now, you guys, this man is a man of many ventures, okay? He doesn't just do music. This man got a whole clothing line too. So, Will, can you talk about your clothing line and what inspired you with your clothing line?
Yeah, Elevate really was it was a product that I created when I first got into track, or as a professional. When I first went pro, I wanted to create a product that exemplified me as a person, and I wanted to use it to inspire and motivate people. And so I'm like, man, what is something that I can, like, one word that I could use for me? I'm like, okay, I'm a jumper. Okay, I want to help people to grow, and I want to really like touch the youth. And I'm like, okay, maybe elevate. Elevate is the, like, you know what I'm saying? That's it. And so like I just started putting out little, like, I put out hats, I put out like t-shirts and stuff like that. And with every collection, I was donating all the proceeds. Like I would do like book scholarships, or I did I was doing book scholarships for a while, and then I pivoted and did a charity to Haiti, some kids in Haiti at this orphanage, and I donated clothes and all the proceeds from that collection that we sold specifically for that. And it just started to really like catch within the track community, the track and field community. And so like, just like with music, once I started to see that, I just like, it turned me up more to want to do it more. And so I just started to like elevate the types of clothing that we was selling and putting together, and really just building the brand up to be something that can last longer than my track career, last longer than me, you know what I'm saying? And really just help as many people that I could possibly help through this brand. And so it didn't really start as like a fashion brand, but me being like into fashion, I'm like, well, let me use this in order to do what I really want to do, which is help motivate people and to be a spark, positive spark within kids. Because I always feel like the people ahead of me, they did what they did and they're kind of like stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
My generation, we're trying to make changes, but the next generation is really going to reap the benefits of it all. And so I want them to be prepared. And so I want to be able to give them that spark to where when it's their time, like they about to do it the right way, you know, and it's going to be a whole completely different world. And so that was kind of really like my motivation for Elevate.
That's dope. Now, guys, also, I need y'all to understand. He had a whole commercial on ESPN. Can we expect to see this again? Is this gonna happen again on ESPN? Because
shout out to American Track League. Shout out to American Track League. They've been running it, and hopefully they continue running it. So
yes, I hope to see it on there again. You guys, if you tune in, and hopefully this one's out before that happens. Tune in, tap in to ESPN2, right? It's on ESPN2.
Yeah.
Watch the American Track League and make sure y'all see this commercial, because amazing. And it's dope to see people that you actually know in commercials, and not something that's necessarily a part of the US committee or the USA Track and Field Committee, and to see you branching out and doing these things as your little sister. I'm very proud. Can't say this enough.
Appreciate that.
So we're gonna kind of start to switch gears off into track a little bit. So I want to go back to London. You won 2 medals in London in both the long jump and triple jump. After you won your first medal, how did you feel?
After I won my first medal, I was like, the job's not done. And so like I feel like you've experienced this. like you have 2 or 3 events that you're competing in a meet, and there is a short period of time in between. And so it's like you don't get a chance to really appreciate the first one because you got to cool down, you got to like prepare yourself for the next one.
Yeah.
You know, it's so like I wasn't really able to like take in that full experience of the first medal because I'm like, okay, like, all right, I need to take an ice bath. I need to go get treatment. I need to like replenish my body, and I need to get my rest, and I need to get ready for this next prelim and this next final. And so that's where my mind like switched to immediately. You know, it was never really like a time to take it in or like celebrate yet. I had to finish the job. And so after I had got the second medal, I was like, okay, like, let me take it all in. All my family was there. Like a lot of my family lives in London. And so like I was able to really just celebrate it with my family, which was the best feeling. You know, it was a first experience for like me and all my family. Like ain't nobody been to the Olympics before. And it so happened that like, you know, like my older brother lives in London. My aunts and uncles live in London. So like we was like at the house, like just like if we was, you know, yeah, like just like if you was in San Diego, you know,
yeah,
like
that comfort.
we was at the house, like home cooked everything, you know what I'm saying? And it was just cool to be in that type of vibe. And yeah, it was like, it was just a life-changing experience. You know, it was something that made me want to do more. It didn't make me complacent. It made me like realize like God put me in this place, in this position for something that's bigger than me. Because then I started to see like my influence, and I started to see this platform that was being built for me. And I'm like, okay, like I know like if I do right with this, what God has given me now, he's going to give me more, and he's going to expect me to do even more, you know, with what he's given me. And I just wanted to be like I guess like a fisher, like we were like fishers of men. So like I wanted to just continue being that. And yeah, that's how I felt. And it just made me work harder. It made me work harder because I knew like that there was so much more to come after that.
I definitely feel that. All right. So now let's move on to 2016. How'd you feel about that, Mel? 2016 was a big Olympics for you. So you got your medal. Walk me through that for you. How was that? Because I know that was you're always battling. You've got your competition. You guys are always battling out there. How was that for you?
2016, well, the lead up to 2016 was tough. I was training with your dad for a lot of that time leading up to 2016 Olympics with Coach Todd. And I was back at my old high school, and I had got a pretty bad injury doing stadiums. I had got a turf toe. And so like that kind of just like hindered a lot of my training. And I was just like in a weird space leading up. And I always know I'm capable, and I always know like that it's gonna end up, you know, in my favor. But I just was really battling a lot. Like I was low key like beefing with Coach Fisher, you know what I'm saying? And I moved to Arizona, and Coach Todd welcomed me with open arms, even though he was kind of like, man, you need to figure it out with Coach Fisher. And so it was just a lot of things that were like going on. And I was seeing a lot of different doctors for my foot and just trying to like figure it out, because the pressures of the Olympics is just so much. And so like I'm trying to do everything so fast and like get it get it to just feel good as soon as possible. So I'm like, I'm going to Germany, seeing doctors in Germany, LA, Phoenix, San Diego, just like going all these doctors, like, what can we do? And so that was just tough for me. I ended up going back to San Diego. The people at the training center had helped me out, you know, to get it to a point to where it was feeling a little better. And at the time, like Queen, my wife now, well, she was just my girlfriend at the time, and she really, you know, she took care of me and held me down through all of that. And you know, we had been together for a while, and I was like, man, I think it's time. Like, I think it's time for us to take it to another level. And this is all like through the whole, like, you know, through this whole Olympic build up and everything. And she's also preparing for the Olympics too. And so we go to trials. I end up making the team I actually made the team in both, but they gave my spot to someone else in the long jump. So I made the team in the triple. Queen ends up getting fourth in the 100 hurdles. And that was like the most devastating thing at the time, because like she was, you know, in good shape to make the team and to go do well at the Olympics. And I was just like, man, I wanna like just do something that is just like amazing for the both of us, you know, come Olympics. But I didn't really have a plan to do it. And that's why I didn't really talk to anybody about it. It was kind of just like, if it feels right, I'll do it, and I'll be prepared to propose. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. So we get to the Olympics, or we get to Rio, and like it was just a lot of bad press about Rio with people. They were saying people were gonna get robbed and all of this stuff. So I got this engagement ring on me, and I'm like, man, hey, if somebody try me for this, they gonna have to take me out, because I ain't giving this ring up to nobody. So I'm keeping it tight. And you know, so the time comes, and I felt really good, you know, going into that competition. I feel like I was ready to jump big. And I just wanted to focus on that first, you know, and then whatever happened after that would happen. So I go out there, and my first jump is like my best jump. I was just so turned up, and it ended up keeping me in like the silver position. So the competition ends, and I see Queen, and I go up there. She's with all my family, and I propose, and she said yes. At the time that I proposed, the 100 hurdle finals is going on. She misses the whole race. She like doesn't see any of it. And it was just like a moment that kind of was like, okay, well, that was the perfect moment, because she could have been sitting there watching that race like upset, but she wasn't, because she just got proposed to by me. Like, how could you not? So, and so yeah, like that whole experience was just cool to have her there with me. And yeah, something that will forever be like one of the best moments of our lives, for sure.
So beautiful. Do you remember when we were in it was at trials actually. We went into Mama Noreen's room, and she asked you, when are you gonna propose to Queen? And I specifically remember you're just like, I know I'm gonna do it, I don't know when. I'm just waiting on time to be right. And to this day,
was the right time.
Hi, man, you did that very well played. Good job, Will. Very well played. I wanna get into, because obviously this podcast is called Crazy Faith, and you grew up in a very different type of situation. You didn't grow up with the luxury of having everything, and a lot of people don't know about that, and some people probably haven't listened to your project. So I just want to talk about how you grew up, your growing up, and how that's kind of molded you into the person that you are today.
Yeah. Yeah, my upbringing was really abnormal. um, my mom moved from Sierra Leone, West Africa, to Tucson, Arizona, to go to U of A, University of Arizona. And while she was there, she had me. And and at the time was like she was struggling as a mother. She had 3 sons. She's trying to get her PhD, and in order to like pay for school and our housing, she lived in like it was kind of like a house. It was like dorms but for families. So that was where we lived, and then she would pay for like her school and stuff, or like by cleaning. She would do like cleaning for the university, and then she would clean like people's houses and stuff, and then like sometimes we would come. I wasn't old enough to help, but I'll be there. And like my brothers would help her like clean and stuff at night, and like that was kind of how she got through getting her PhD in nutrition. And then our family moved to Atlanta for a little bit, and we were there probably like a year and a half. And my mom one day had got held at gunpoint, and she survived. And like after that, she was like, "We got to get up out of here." So we left Atlanta, went back to Arizona, and so it was like my upbringing was kind of weird, because like my mom and dad had my aunt come out to Phoenix to basically raise me because they worked so much. And so like my aunt is really who raised me growing up. And then once I got to like maybe 6 or 7, she moved back to Sierra Leone. And then like at that point, it was kind of like I was not really on my own, but like my brothers took care of me. My parents just always worked a lot. And so like I was just really like, my brothers took care of me when I came home from school and stuff like that. And then around like 10, my parents got a divorce. My dad had moved to Florida. And then my oldest brother, he had left he went to college by that time. He played football at Cal Berkeley. And so like I always remember like my mom, me, my middle brother, and my mom just like packing up and then just like hopping in the car and just driving. I'm like, where are we going? We don't have nowhere to go. Like what's going on? And so like we just like put all of our stuff in a U-Haul storage, and we just like figured it out. We had moved into this apartment, and like I could, at a young age, I could tell we were struggling, but my mom just always like held it together somehow. Yeah. But at the same time, it made me to be influenced by like whatever or whoever I was around, like whether it was just like in school or neighborhoods. That was where my like those were the things that I took to, because my mom was working a lot. My brother, he was in high school doing his thing. And so like, I was just, you know what I'm saying, influenced by whatever it was. And, you know, that put me in a lot of situations that could have taken me down a different path in life. But I definitely feel like just by the grace of God and for what he had for me, I was able to make it through. You know, I feel like the verse, what God has for you is a real thing. Cause like I've had a lot of friends and just like people that I was around that just went down completely different paths, you know, whether it led them to prison or whether it led them to death, you know, and for some reason it just never touched me. It never came to me, but I was always one person away from it. And you know, I feel like sports definitely kept me busy too, and it helped me to be around positive male influences, you know, like your father. Like people like that, I would say saved my life, because even at Mountain Point, like with me being I became independent at a young age. And so like I would like do things like my mom would give me like $20 a week to like for lunch. And so like I was trying to turn the $20 into $100 because everybody that I'm going to school with has $20 per day for lunch. Yeah. For lunch and like food, like after school, like they going to Taco Bell and McDonald's. Like I ain't going, I'm going home because I don't got it. So like I had got into like shooting dice and gambling, and I had got into just like a lot of things that just weren't, you know, weren't the right things. And it took people like your father to like tell me like, Will, like you have a bright future. You need to stop. You need to chill. Like, why are you leaving school? Like you were supposed to be in class right now. Like, why? Where are you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
You have that man stressed.
Why are you not in class right now? Like, and it didn't really like it didn't really like get to me until maybe my sophomore, early in my junior year. And I had got into like some trouble in school, and I had got suspended. And at this time, the neighborhood that I was living in on the south side of Phoenix, it had just got really bad. Like it was a lot of people dying, and a lot of just like gang related situations that were happening really close to me. And I was like, man, at the same time, I'm getting like college recruit visits like every week. Like coaches from all over the country are coming to my house to try to get me to go to their schools. One coach, actually Coach Fisher came to my house one day, and it had been a drive-by shooting across the street the day before he came. And he was like, dang, like why are they bullet shell like casing in the street? Like, what's going on? Like, man, like it's, you know,
Life,
like shit. You know, yeah, it had some, you know, some things happen in the neighborhood. And I had a football game that night, and at the game it was a shootout. And like he helped my mom get back to her car, you know, and it was just a crazy time, to the point to where I was like, you know what, I need to get out of here, you know, like. And so I doubled up on my class. Like I never slacked in school. I always was like a good student, and which was why like I didn't take it serious, because it came so natural to me. So I always had good grades. And so at this time I'm like, man, I'm about to just double up on my classes and graduate early, because I gotta get up out of here. I stopped playing football, and that was like, football was a big, you know, dream of mine. I felt like I was going to the NFL, you know, like, and I felt like when I played football, like I feel like I was the best of the best, but I was just small. I was just small. And so I'm like, I stopped playing football. My coaches understood, and I committed to Oklahoma, and I graduated early, and I just like left, and that was the best thing I could have ever done, because it just put me on a fast track to where I was supposed to be. Not where I didn't know where I was going, but I mean, God knew, and he put me on a fast track to it. And so I got to Oklahoma, and you know, my mom, she took me out there, like got me all situated. And man, my mom really held me down, like just as best as she could. You know, I feel like she never put us in a situation where we had to like get evicted or like stuff like that, or like be on like Section 8. Like we never had to deal with that type of stuff because she worked that hard. But at the same time, it took away from me having a mom, like on a family type basis, to where like I'm actually like spending time with my mom daily. Like I didn't really see my mom like that. Like I wake up, she going to work. I get back, and she may come home, cook, and then it's bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Or like I'm just like I'm outside, you know, and doing whatever I'm doing, and I get home and like she sleep. And so like I feel like I didn't really get to build like a deep relationship with both of my parents until like I got older, like in my like late 20s, like my mid to late 20s. But like my mom, she took me out to Oklahoma, and I got enrolled and everything. I'm like 17 on campus with all these like grown folks. Like, man, what's going on? And I ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting acclimated pretty quick, and I won a national title my freshman year on my 18th birthday. And from there, I realized like what my purpose was and like what I was really there for. Like I'm like, okay, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is a gift that God has given me that I can't play with. Like I gotta really live this out. And
Right.
so I didn't take track serious until then. And then after that, yeah, it just went.
Everything started going up from there.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm about to backtrack actually, because this is just a question from my own self. Like,
Okay.
when are you and Queen going to start having some babies? I'm ready for the nieces and nephews to be wandering around, okay?
In this sport that we are in, women need their bodies to be able to, you know. So we trying to plan it out.
Convince her, cause
we trying to figure it out. But when the time is right, it's gonna happen. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited for you guys, because I just know them little babies is gonna be so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, but let me get back on track, because I looked over at my little sheet, and then I realized I was gonna talk to you about like, how is it being married to another track athlete? But I want to hold on that question only because since we're talking about your childhood, I want to talk about your friends. You have such a amazing group of friends, for one. You guys have really grown together. I've had the pleasure of being able to watch you guys grow together. Tell us about your friends. You guys have all been very successful in your own ways and your own paths, and it's beautiful. And I want the world to hear about this. So,
yeah, I've been blessed to like be around a solid group of men. All my friends went on to like play college sports. get degrees, start families, start businesses, and really just flourish in what it is that they wanted to do, in life. And it started as us just being just young boys, just like with a dream. All we had was a dream, and for some reason, like, we held each other accountable at a young age, where like a lot of like people in our situation, or kids our age, don't really like have people like that. Like, it would be like Saturdays, and we would like get each other up on a Saturday morning to go like train, whereas like people like other kids wasn't doing that. Like, other kids is waking up to play video games on a Saturday. Like,
sleep in, leave me alone.
Yeah, like, we were just so poised to reach our goals, and it started at a young age, even with like business. Like, me and Tay, my good friend Tay, like, even at a young age, as far as business wise, like, we would put business plans together and flourish in our little community. Like, just like, we would sell shoes. We sold shoes, we sold clothes, and we did really well with that. And it just was like just us just figuring it out, which is like what any entrepreneur would do, like Bill Gates, starting his garage, or like whatever, I'm saying? That was us. And as we matured, we stuck with it. As we grew older, we stuck with what we were doing, to the point that we're now, like, as we're, older, in our late 20s and early 30s, we are we still have that same drive and dedication and brotherhood, and just a way of holding each other accountable. And I think that was a big part of what got us to where we are now. And I feel like we had a village. Like, I feel like Marquise and Tay's dad was like a father figure to all of us. He trained us. He mentored us into like men. Mama, who is like, she's all of our godmothers. She gave us a place to sleep, to be a safe haven for us to go to, that there was no like judgment or anything. It was just like, y'all are my sons, and y'all have a place here anytime. Y'all can come here anytime. Y'all knock on that door, y'all can come in, and y'all can eat, and y'all can do whatever y'all want in this house. And just y'all make sure y'all clean up after yourselves. So like, these people that were around us, like, really just were our village, and they instilled traits in us that allowed us to excel in life and allow us to stay on track. And I think that really helped us all as a group, because we never were able to really get that far astray from that, especially just living in Phoenix at such a crazy time. It was a really crazy time that we were living in, and we were in the midst of it all. Like, we never really ran from it. For some reason, we ran to it. But we were always able to get back in line, and get back to what, our goals were.
Man, you guys have grown up so much. It's crazy. Crazy out here, man. So I guess we can go back to my other question now too. So what is it like being married to another professional athlete, especially one in the same sport?
It took some getting used to. It took a lot of getting used to because like you you as a yeah, as like a couple, it's like, okay, we go to practice, we both come home, we both tired. And it's like, so what we eating tonight? Who's doing laundry? Like, who's about to do these dishes? Because I'm tired. And the other person is like, well, shoot, I was right there with you at practice. I'm tired too. Like, what you saying? Like, it took us really being a team, like really like doing things as a team. And but at the same time, it gave us an appreciation of each other because we know how we know how hard we both work and we know the grind. And so that's a beautiful thing, just having that, you know, that common knowledge of like what we go through on a daily basis. And that helps, you know, that helps a lot. But it took us getting used to it though, you know, to the point to where now we operate in a certain way that is beneficial to both of us, and we hold each other accountable. We don't coach each other though, like that can get a little like like we leave that track, we leave track on the track, like we don't really like get into that. That ain't, I'm not her coach, she's not my coach. You know what I'm saying? And so like we don't really like get into that much. But we do push each other, and we do like help each other. Like sometimes we'll like give each other treatment at home because, you know, especially right now at the center, you know, wherever, you can't really get no treatment because you can't go inside. So like, yeah, we help each other in any way that we possibly can, just to see the other person do good, because we both just want to be great, and we're both very competitive. So yeah, we just continue to just push each other.
Both very competitive. I know she cooks a lot. What is your favorite meal that Queen has cooked so far?
She make these beef ribs that's crazy. I can't even really explain how crazy.
So I know it's good because there was not a long break to think about it, so I know.
These beef ribs, oh my gosh. You don't understand. I can't even put the words together to explain to you how good they are. Like, they are, yeah. These beef ribs nights are just,
and you know, it's when it's the they just they there.
They just that, like,
As we've come into this pandemic, you know, 2020 was a very strange year for everybody, a very heavy year for everybody. How has the pandemic, we also had the whole, like, we've got the Black Lives Matter movement that's been going on. The Olympics was postponed. How have you dealt with all of that, and how has that affected you and even your training so far?
It's been tough. You know, it's been tough. I wouldn't say it's to start with. We'll start with the racial injustices. We'll start with that first. I would say it's been tough to see, but we've been experiencing that. It's just publicized now. So like, I feel like when all of this started to happen, it just not even allowed us, it made us just speak up and like really like push for change even more. I mean, we've been pushing for change, but then now it's like the world is seeing it. So look, like, hey, y'all see it? Like, we need to change this. This does not need to happen anymore. These type of things do not need to be happening to one specific group of people. Like, this is not right. And so that was just tough to watch. It was tough to watch because as a Black man, it takes you back to the times where you went through similar situations. Thank God we were able to live through it. But it just gave us that much more motivation to like just fight for change for our people. And it was also tough, like the timing of it, as we are in the pandemic, it was kind of tough to like, because everybody was just at home and all you have your phone, you have your TV, so we just bombarded with all of this, and it was just happening back to back to back. And so like it just made you want to just go out and do something about it. Like whatever we could do about it, we need to just go out and do something. And so that's what we did. We went to rallies. We spoke up. We did everything that we could possibly do. We didn't storm the Capitol, but we did go to rallies, and we did respectfully do what we could to help save lives of our people. Yeah, the pandemic was tough. I appreciated certain things from it though. It brought me closer to my wife. It brought me closer to people that really cared for me, and my wife, and just realizing who's really, there for you, and just really relishing in those relationships, with people, and the time that we have with them, while we on earth. And so that was the good I could take out of it. But at the same time, it was tough to like not be able to do what I love, which is, train and prepare for track meets. And it was just, I feel like it was a bittersweet thing to see the Olympics get postponed, because we planned for 2020 and
right.
we worked for 2020, and to see it get postponed but still not getting no information was kind of like, so like, what are we supposed to, how do we time this up? What are we like, what are we doing? Yeah. And all the tracks were closed, and we were having to do whatever we could from home. Thank God for like USATF giving us, a stipend to get some training equipment for home. That helped a lot. So we just did what we could, but I look at it also as more time to prepare, because with time you get better with time if you use it right. So it just I took that time to like work on things that I wouldn't have had time to work on in a shorter amount of time. So I was able to get back to the basics and work on things that like I was in a deficit in, just little things, so I feel like I was able to just see the blessing in the rain, and just, fathoming that more so than focusing on the actual, pandemic and, people losing lives, things like that. I was just trying to stay positive about what's going on with me, and trying to invest in stocks and stuff like that. Because I mean, we not making no money on the track, so we had to get creative.
Yeah. Yep.
On keeping income and things like that, because as we know, as track athletes, it can get real weird when it comes to sponsorships, when it comes to just being compensated for your hard work.
Yeah.
In a sport where like the game don't really love us like we love it. A time like the pandemic it was tough for our sport, and it was kind of uncertainty as dang, are we gonna be getting paid still? Are we gonna, we don't have meets to go to, so like, that's already money that we can't make. So we had to get creative and try to, bring in income other ways.
No, big facts. We definitely had to figure out. I think that thankfully the pandemic brought out a lot of creativity and had people really thinking outside the box of, I got to live outside of track, start getting people kind of prepared for that lifestyle out of it. Now we're in 2021. The Olympics is supposed to happen. How is training going for you? How are you feeling about the Olympics? Like,
well, I mean, I'm in the same clothes that you saw me in at the track earlier when I was dead. So yeah, training is going good. I'm getting worked, and I'm getting worked into the shape that I want to be in. So I'm definitely happy with where I'm at, and I'm excited about what is to come this season. I feel like this is going to be one of the most special Olympics because of the circumstances that we've had to go through to get there, and to make it happen. So I'm excited about it. I feel like I'm just preparing to make it the best Olympics ever for me, the best Olympics that I've ever had. I'm preparing for that. I want it to be just the complete package of everything that I've wanted from the Olympics. And so that's what I'm working towards.
Are we going to see you on the long jump again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, as little sis, I'm excited to see you back on the track because when you go MIA, it's a little sad for me. And I was missing you on the long jump.
So, I know.
Like you bring the energy on the track. Like there's a very few of y'all, then that group that brings the energy out on the track. And so I can't wait to get that feeling again. How you feel about Dindy calling people out? I love it.
I feel like he didn't put my name on nothing, so I can't really, I don't know. If he want to call me out, if he want to put my name in something, then, we could figure that out. But I think Dindy is feeling good. He went out there and he put out a mark that he was happy with, and he wants to he wants all the smoke, as he said. But as far as me, when it's time to prepare for a medal, I'm there. I don't care about nothing else. So when you talking about, me in February, you hyped about, that's cool. That's what you prepare for. I don't prepare for that. I prepare for World Championships and Olympics and Olympic trials and USAs. So I'll see you there.
See you there. I'm excited for the energy. Look, see you guys there. Excited for the energy. I can't wait to get all y'all back out there because I know that energy is just gonna be wild. For sure. Y'all are gonna do some crazy things out there. So I'm
for sure.
Look, the men's jumps is my favorite. So shit.
Yeah.
With this gonna lead me to my final question. Okay. What event group is the funniest group in track and field?
Oh, I feel like the funniest event group is probably, dang. In my time, I would say the 400.
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's some characters in the 4. You got Tony McCoy to begin with. You got David Verberg. You got Fred Curley. You got Michael Cherry. You got who else we got? Oh, Vernon. Vernon.
Vernon is.
It's like they need to have their own like comedy special. Like them dudes need their own like Kevin Hart comedy special. Just let them just get on stage, cause they all are just hilarious. So I would definitely I would say the 400 in my like right now. I would say the 400.
No, I definitely give you that. That's actually the first time that someone has brought that to light, and now I'm sitting here like,
yeah, like them dudes is really funny. Like
those are some funny group. They're funny.
Yeah. It's true.
So thank you for joining the Crazy Faith podcast, Will. I appreciate you. Like I said, excited to see all the big things that you got going. And yeah,
I'm excited to see what you got going too.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Crazy Faith podcast. Once again, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Agogie. With 8 resistance bands built in, Agogie's resistance pants have pioneered the resistance apparel industry, helping increase your training intensity and improving your overall performance. Get faster, get stronger, and it's as simple as putting on the pants. So once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the next one. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, maintain that crazy faith.